Hey, this is Mr. Hansen. Today I wanted to look at quadratic equations with you, quadratic functions. And you'll notice I have three quadratic functions written on the screen. Let's just do some function notation here. If I put -5 in right there and right there, that'd be 25 minus 20, that's 5 minus 5, that's 0. What if I put -5 in right here and right there in the second function? That'll be 0 for the first one, and then -5 minus 1, -6 times 0 will be 0. And what if I put -5 in for the third function? -5 plus 2 is -3. Square that, you get 9 minus 9 is 0. So all three functions had the same, when I put -5 in, they had the same output of 0. Let's do a few more. Let's put -4 in. So we got 16 minus 16. That's 0, and you get -5. And if you put -4 in here, we're going to get 1, and -4 times -5 be -5 again. So let's do the last one. Put -4 in here. That's going to be -2 squared. Just +4 minus 9, -5. So hopefully you're kind of convinced that all three of these functions are really the same function. So let's finish this off. We'll just put -3 in, and I'm just going to put it in the first one. So -3 squared is 9. 4 times -3, -12. That's -3 minus 5, -8. -2 squared, that's 4. 4 times -2, that's -8. So 4 minus 8 is -4 minus 5 is -9. -1 squared, that's 1. 4 times -1 is -4. So it's -3 added together. Minus 5 is -8. And 0 is going to be -5. And if you plug 1 in there, you're going to get 1 plus 4. That's 5 minus 5 is 0. Okay, so from this table you can kind of see a pattern here. We're decreasing all the way down to -9, and then we start increasing again. So you could probably guess that, well, let's just go ahead and make a little bit of a, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -5, 0, and then we have -4, -5, about right there, and then -3, -8, about right there, -2, -9 right there, -1, -8, 0, -5, and 1, 0, right about like that. So it kind of looks like this, kind of like that. Kind of got the idea there. Okay, so let's take a look at those three functions again. Each of those functions kind of has its own superpower. So let's take a look at the first one. It's in standard form. You might remember ax squared plus bx plus c. This came in handy when we were making word problems, especially with gravity. You might remember how that worked. So it kind of came in handy when we're dealing with word problems. And its superpower is right here, that point right there. It gives you a y-intercept. Y-intercept right there. Y-intercept. So that kind of gives you a reference point. Also, you know, this is a plus out front, so it's going to be U-shaped. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. This is called factored form. X minus R1, X minus R2, something like that. That's factored form there. And let's see, what's that giving us? Well, the first one gave us a y-intercept. This will actually give us x-intercept. So an x-intercept is when y equals 0. Think about when that equals 0. Think about, well, either this first part has to equal 0 or the second part has to equal 0, because when you multiply two numbers together and you get an answer or a product of 0, one of those two numbers is 0. So we could rewrite this. We could say x plus 5 is going to equal 0, or x minus 1 equals 0. So you subtract 5 from both sides, or add 1 to both sides, and x equals negative 5, or x equals 1 when y is 0. Negative 5, 0, 1, 0. So hopefully you can see the x-intercepts from that. X-intercepts. So x-intercept. And let's take a look at the last one. This is called vertex form. And it's x minus h squared plus k. And what this is telling us is it actually gives us the vertex. So the h and the k is the vertex. So we've got minus 2 and then negative 9. So we go back 2 and down 9, minus 2, negative 9, and there you have the vertex. So that's the superpower for each function here, or each type of quadratic function. The first one in standard form gives you the y-intercept. The second one in factored form gives you the x-intercepts. And the third one in vertex form gives you the vertex. And those are kind of the main points you need to know for a parabola, to graph a parabola. So hopefully this helps you out a little bit. We'll talk a little bit. We'll be working with these a lot more in coming units. Thank you very much and have a good day. This is Mr. Hanson signing out.